welcome to today's video. My name is Montana Buck. In today's video, I just sat down really fast and I filmed me getting ready today. I did a lot of like bronzy, smoky makeup with some nice gold highlight, nude lips. Wanted to go for something a little bit more wearable, more achievable, something quicker, something more simple. And so this is what we've come up with. So if you guys want to see what I did to create this look, then just keep watching. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my L'Oreal True Match Foundation. This is in the shade Natural Buff. And I'm just going to begin dotting this onto the skin. Give us some nice medium to full coverage. I really like this foundation because I can build it up. Or if I would like, I can just kind of leave it a little sheer so that I can kind of get that natural look where you still see your natural skin underneath. I also like to bring this under the neck as well. And then picking up my Kabuki flat top brush from Sigma, I believe this is the F80 brush. I'm just going to begin from the chest up, swirling and buffing that foundation into the skin. I've gone ahead and drawn on my eyebrows with a little bit of my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade, which is right here. I went ahead and carved it out with a little bit of my No Filter Concealer by ColourPop and a concealer brush. I'm going to move on to concealing the under eye. So picking back up that ColourPop No Filter Concealer, I'm using the shade Medium 20. I'm just going to get in the upper corner of the under eye and then all the way around just to conceal any darkness. I'm also taking this on the nose and a little on the chin as well. Picking up my damp blending sponge, I'm going to begin dabbing this and just blending and distributing the product throughout the areas in which I applied it. Now that we've laid down our concealer, I'm going in with another concealer. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer, and I believe this is in the shade Toast, to contour / bronze the face. Because this is a cream product, I'm not going in with any powders just quite yet, so I'm not setting the under eye concealer quite yet. I want to work with all creams first and then go in with my powders, because what can tend to happen if you're using powder on top of liquid products and then going in with more liquid products, that makeup starts to kind of bunch up and get kind of gross. So I'm just going to avoid that and just stick with creams for now. Picking up that same Real Techniques sponge and spritzing it with a little bit of my travel size MAC Cosmetics Fix Plus setting spray. I'm going to begin blending and then whatever is residual left over on the brush, I'm just going to bring it from the top of the eyebrow to the tip of the nose on each side, just to warm up the nose as well. We don't want to leave the nose out. And underneath to create that nice shadow effect. And I like to actually blend this in with my fingers at first, and then go over it with the sponge later. I'm picking up my Too Faced Born This Way Loose Translucent Setting Powder, and I've just tapped a bit of that into this cap, and then picking up my Morphe M438 tapered brush here. I'm just picking some of that up on those bristles, and I'm going to begin setting the under eye. I'm also dusting this on top of the nose as well, as this is an area of my face that tends to get oily throughout the day, on the lid as well, to prepare us later on when we go in with some of our eyeshadows. Between the brows, so none of that makeup starts creasing throughout the day. For the chin, where we applied some of that concealer earlier, on the top lip. Picking up this fluffy blending brush, I'm dipping this into the cap now, and I'm going to begin swirling this over that cream contour that we just applied, because we're going to go in with a powder bronzer now. So this is going to help set and keep everything in place and help that powder bronzer to blend in there quite seamlessly. Now that we are ready and prepared for our bronzer, we're going to go ahead and pick that up. The Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil bronzer, as well as this baked bronzer by Milani Cosmetics. This is in the shade 06 Golden. So picking up this bronzer brush from Eco Tools, I believe I purchased this at Target. I really love their face brushes. They're so soft and so so fluffy, and they really help the bronzer to just be so blended and so smooth, and really love these brushes. So I'm just dipping this into that Dark Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm going to begin on the forehead. So just kind of swirling and dusting this into the temples, bronzing the whole perimeter of the forehead really. Moving on to cheekbones, I'm going to start from the top of the ear to just about here. I'm going to stop. And along the chin as well, just so that we have some symmetry going on in the face. So pick up a separate fluffy brush. This one is much smaller. I'm going to dip this into the Dark Chocolate Soleil bronzer here. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to begin to warm up the nose a bit, starting from the top of the nose and then slowly and very lightly dragging this down the sides. I don't want this to be too harsh, and I am also going to go over it again with the bigger fluffy brush just to buff and blend out any sharp edges that we may have here. So I don't want the contour to be too harsh here, just more so focusing on just warming this up. This sponge is still damp, but what it will help it do is help all of the translucent powders, the foundation, the contour, the bronzer, everything. It's going to melt together very beautifully. Now I do want to take some more of this bronzer on that Eco Tools brush and take this underneath my chin and down the neck area as well. Again, just to make sure that our skin tone is all one shade. Just bronze up the ears a bit so that we don't have a nice tan face and white little ears. Next, we're going in with that second Milani bronzer that I have here in the shade Golden 06, and this Revlon blush brush. I'm just going to give this a couple taps, and like I said earlier, I'm only going to bring this halfway through because I want this to have a sort of ombre depth effect, but I don't want to make the contour look too harsh. So I want to be really careful with this step and make sure it's very blended and the transition of the two bronzers is very smooth. So I want to start at the very top of the ear, kind of just in this region, this general area here, and starting up high, almost actually into the temple, and then just slightly stopping right there, maybe a little lower. Okay, like that. We're going to move straight into highlight. I am picking up my Becca Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. Mine's all broken, so I don't want to hold it up too close to the camera, but yeah, you guys can get the idea. I've sprayed my sponge with some Fix Plus to get it a little wet, and I'm dipping it into the crushed highlighter. I'm going to begin applying this on the high points of the cheekbone, just by pressing the product into the skin. Like so. The other side, I want to hit the high point of the nose and also bring this just in the center of the bridge as well. Like so. I'm going to hit the Cupid's bow. And then switching tools, I'm going to pick up this tapered brush from Morphe. Picking up a little bit of that on the brush, I'm going to press it right above the eyebrow, just so we get that really pretty like eyebrow sheen right above there. I really like that. It's very subtle. I don't want to look like my eyebrow is sweating. Like so. And then just a dash on the chin. And now we are dewy. I love it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set everything with my Fix Plus. Of course, we're going in with our Jaclyn Hill palette. You guys know I love this palette. I swear I use it in like every single tutorial. But that's just how versatile this thing is. When you guys find a product that you really love and you know it works, you use it. So first things first, I'm going to be dipping into this shade right here. Just get some of that onto my fluffy brush. So starting in the outer corner, giving it a nice twirl. And then as the product begins to leave the bristles of the brush, I slowly smudge it closer and closer towards the inner corner of the eye. And then really quickly, I'm moving on to this little pigment that I have here from MAC Cosmetics. This is actually in a Nordstrom sample, little trial tester Casey compacty thingy bobber. And I'm picking up this brush. This is the Small Tapered Blending E45 brush from Sigma. And I'm just taking whatever is residual on the cap. And then I'm going to begin applying this right on the high points of the brow bone. And then going right back in with that fluffy brush over the edges of the highlight where the transition and the brow bone highlight meet. Alright, looking good so far. This Sigma Tapered Blending brush, this is the E40 brush. I'm going to pick up this shade here. So just pick some of that up with my Sigma brush. Instead of meeting it all the way to the inner corner of the eye, I think I'm going to stop about halfway. So starting in the very, very outer corner of the eye, I'm going to begin working in circular motions. Drag that shade more towards the center of the eye. And then picking up that fluffy brush back up again with no added product on the bristle. I'm just going over that two shades again and just melting them together. Next, I'm picking up a different Sigma brush. This is totally and completely rubbed off. Okay, well I don't know what this is, but this is a sort of flat packer brush. It's a little more on the dense side and the bristles are a lot shorter. So with this brush here, I'm going to go back into the Jaclyn palette. I'm going to choose this shade here. Get some of that onto our brush. Start on the outer corner and then slowly stop just about here. I want to be careful because this shade is a lot darker and we don't want to look like we have a big black eye. So just taking my time, patting and packing this shade. Other side as well, starting in the outer corner. Small Tapered Blending E45 brush from Sigma, and I'm going to choose the lightest and brightest shade in the palette here. Just get some of that on the brush. I'm going to apply this on the very inner corner of the eye, and I love this brush because you can get so close in that inner corner. It is just wonderful. Go ahead and do that, like so. That's cute. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm picking up my NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk, and I'm just going to run this underneath the waterline on my eyes, just to open them up and give them some brightness. Now that I'm looking light and bright, we're just going to fix this up with some of those shadows now. So starting from the outer corner and then slowly dragging that, stop right about there. But just keep everything else in this area generally. And sort of almost connecting the lower lash line shade up with our eyeshadows here on the top of the lid as well. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm picking up my NYX Professional Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a turn on black liner pencil right underneath my lash line on the upper portion of the eye. The upper half of the lash line, I'm picking up this other product here. Liquid Kohl Waterproof Liquid Liner. I'm not even sure who this is by. Seraphine Botanicals. Ooh. I don't really know where I got this, but I must have picked it up somewhere. It's one of these kinds. So I'm just going to use this liner to prepare us for when we go in with our mascara and draw a little line above the lashes. So I've already gone ahead and done one wing on this eye, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did on the other eye here. So I'm going to start by just making a very thin line as close to the lashes as I possibly can get it. And then later on, as we continue, we're going to start to build the liner up to become thicker and thicker. But right now, I'm just focusing on making sure that the lashes and the gaps in my lashes are totally covered up. This line back here a little bit thicker towards the outer corner. Now, when it comes to the actual flick of the wing, I like to start at the top and just drag it right out. And going towards the underside now. Meeting them two together and then just filling in the gap. Just like that. Now that we have our liquid liner applied, I want to go back in with my Too Faced Born This Way powder, and we're going to bake our face. So picking up my Morphe contouring sponge, I'm just dipping into that cap. I'm going to start at the corner of the mouth and then drag it all the way up to the top of the ear. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm also going to take this on the sides of the nose as well, just to sharpen that up. I have this really cute NARS Climax Mascara here that we're going to use on the lashes. If you get mascara on your eyelid like I did right here and like here, just let it dry for a minute and then we'll be able to flick it off once it's all dried up. And then picking up this fluffy brush from Eco Tools, I'm going to use this to just dust off our bakage. My sister, my mom, and I, we also went through a bunch of our clothes that we have, like old clothes, and took it up to the Salvation Army and just donated a bunch of stuff. So we just had way too much sitting around the house, and we really just kind of wanted to clean house, so to say. And so now my closet is like so organized and so nice. So that'll be nice when the fall and winter seasons start to come upon us. I'll be able to rearrange my clothing and everything should be organized the way I wanted it to be. So yay, I'm excited for that. A little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes as well, because my makeup is never complete without bottom mascara. Now we're going to move on to lips. I'm picking up my new favorite lip liner right now. This is also from NYX Cosmetics from their Suede Matte Lip Liner collection. It's so, so, so pretty. I'm obsessed with this color. So we're going to go ahead and apply it onto the lips. Let me go find what lipstick I want to pair this with. I don't know. Decided for lipstick, I'm going to do MAC Cosmetics Honey Love all over the lips, and then a little bit of the MAC Cosmetics Creme de Nude lipstick just in the center for a little bit of an ombre highlighted pop effect. And then to top it off, I'm just picking up a little bit of the Rosebud Salve by the Rosebud Perfume Company, just in the center, just to add that slick, glossy effect. And this stuff is also very moisturizing, and I love it, whether it's on top of a lip gloss or just worn on its own. So now that we have our full face of makeup completed, I'm going to go ahead off camera. I'm going to flat iron this hair, clip in some hair extensions, and throw on some jewelry and a new shirt, and we'll be right back. This here is the final look. What do you guys think? Anyways, thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today and watching today's video. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if this outro seems kind of like quick and rushed, but dinner's ready. And I really, really, really want to go eat some food. So, yes, without further ado, I love you guys so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you would. Thank you again for spending some time with me today, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.